Hey, welcome back, Controversy Crew, for another daily update. Before we get hot into this content, I'll ask if you just hit the like, subscribe buttons. So, as everyone knows, there's been some questions going around about Joe Biden's mental state, you know, as far as being president. So if you go back to when he was debating at that time, then President Trump, he had that little, what I call a glitch. I guess it was a glitch where he froze up like he was talking. He was just like, looked like he was rebooting. And then he just, after a couple of took about 5 seconds, he came back and he was looking around like he was lost. And they had to react to the question. So lately there's been a lot of questions about that. He's had a lot of moments where he's forgotten the president's name of China, multiple other countries, called them by the wrong names. They had, or he was froze and couldn't remember their name, and they had to tell him who they were. So we're gonna go ahead and get into this video and see what other people got to say about it.
President Biden's age and mental fitness have become top concerns for American voters, and, well, it's not hard to see why they would be concerned about how he's doing. He is now skipping the traditional and iconic Super Bowl interview. Presidents do this sort of thing, especially in election years, because that audience is enormous. Just yesterday, President Biden appeared to forget the word Hamas. Oh, forget about it, not just the word, the group, when he was asked about hostages being held in Gaza.
There's some movement. There's been a response from there's been a response from the opposition, but yes, I'm sorry, from Hamas.
Well, that's a really bad choice of words, because that's what he sees as his political opponents, the opposition. So he really couldn't think of Hamas. This past Sunday, Biden said he recently met with French President Francois Mitterrand, who passed away in 1996.
Right after I was elected, I went to what they call a G7 meeting, all the NATO leaders. And I sat down and I said, America's back. And Mitterrand from France looked at me and said, you know, why, how long are you back for?
Yeah, well, we know that this is true. Don't even bother asking the White House spokespeople about.
So, I just got a question. So, Joe, you told me you seeing dead people.
I see dead people walking around like regular people. They don't know they're dead.
Okay, I guess that's it. Joe Biden see dead people, and these folks don't know they're dead. So I guess he's the only one that's seeing them. So let's go and get back into this video.
Biden's embarrassing mix-ups. Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre is not talking.
How is President Biden ever going to convince the 3/4 of voters who are worried about his physical and mental health that he is okay, even though in Las Vegas he told a story about recently talking to a French president who died in 1996?
I'm not even going to go down that rabbit hole with you,
Why-
sir.
What is
We're
the
going to
rabbit
go.
hole?
Go ahead.
He said
go
he
ahead.
talked to Mitterrand.
Go ahead.
and-
You saw the president in Vegas, in California. You've seen the president in South Carolina. You saw him in Michigan. I'll just leave it there.
We'll get to the medical part in a second of all of this. Kayleigh McEnany, you've had that job. You know that question is coming. You know it's coming. Is that how you handle that?
No, you are not dismissive of what could, I guess, best be described as the #1 concern of American voters as it pertains to your principal, President Joe Biden. Every poll, 3/4 of voters say he's too old, he lacks the mental acuity. The NBC poll, 46 to 23, I believe it was, they believe Trump has the necessary physical and mental fitness vis-a-vis Biden. So you don't dismiss this as a rabbit hole, because the rabbit hole happens to be the assessment of the American people. What you do is what she sort of leaned into in the second part of that answer. I would have had a whole list in front of me.
Right?
Today, he was in the Situation Room for a briefing. Then he was on the phone with congressional leaders about the border wall. Then he, was with this special interest group. Then he went to 3 fundraisers. Like, you list out what he's doing. You don't dismiss the question, call it a rabbit hole, but.
Dr. Siegel, last hour I had on Mark Penn. He's a guru among Democrats and a polling genius. He said that he's been brushing off the whole age and fitness thing up until that moment because of where we are in the war between Israel and Hamas. He said that gave him particular pause because what he realizes is he may not have a grasp of right now, and Hamas is a big deal right now. You can't just not get that right.
France is a big deal, too, and he almost said Germany. Listen, Harris, I like what you said in the last hour. I watched you on the Focus with this, and you said it's not about age. It's about fitness. It's about mental acuity, and that's the medical issue here. Absolutely the medical issue here, because he may retain some of his political skills, but you also said something to me that I also agree with. He's gotten meaner. He used to be a deal maker. He used to be someone that reached across the aisle. That executive function is eroding to me. And I've talked to top neurologists about this. He's losing his memory for sure. But in addition to that, he's losing some of the skills that we need for leadership. And the American people need to vote on that. And they should be watching him at the Super Bowl. If he would agree to come, that's where we make that assessment.
And that's what Mark Penn said. This should be the #1 priority for the White House, is to get that monster interview, because, Trump wants it. Would they give it to Trump? Can you imagine? Biden might cry on camera.
And remember how Karine Jean-Pierre dismissed it, which was that, well, we know that people are focused on the game, she said. But the point is that part of it was tradition. So then I guess, does that dovetail in with their deliberate strategy? Is their communications director called his absolute refusal to engage with the press? They said, we'll meet Americans where they're at. Pretty sure everyone on Sunday is going to be watching that game. So why don't you meet everyone where they're at? We know the reason.
Yeah. Wow. Leslie.
I think it's good that he doesn't do it, especially with this whole Taylor Swift conspiracy that
he's
she's
not caught up in
conspired.
that.
Right? No, he's not caught up.
So, hey, that's who's leading this damn country. Man that don't have his mind, sleep at the damn wheel. So you have the illegal migrants coming in. You had the issue with Palestine, and Israel going on. You got the problem with Ukraine and Russia still going on. We had the drone strike, in Jordan that killed 3 service members and then injured another 36. And then we did a strike against Yemen against Hamas. So with all this going on, do you really think, and I'm dead serious on this part, do you really think he needs to be where he's sitting at? I definitely want Kamala Harris there. So at some point between Congress and Senate, because some of them old as hell to damn, so Mitch McConnell, his brain's going too. Nancy Pelosi, she's there too. There needs to be, if they don't want to do a term limit, there needs to be an age limit for the president too. At some age, it's just cut off. Like, no, you too damn old. Because we do it, I can tell you right now, we do it for the military. If you look at the oldest you can be, even for enlisted or even as officer, we have a cutoff limit for age that you can no longer serve. Regardless of how damn good at your job, you can have all your scruples, and they's like, yeah, you gotta retire. Why? You met the age cutoff. Hey, I'm still good at my job. I'm performing at top level, which for military, and it's because we're constantly doing it. So it becomes repetitive for us, some things. But I've never met someone in my 28 and a half years in the Army, from generals 2, 3, 4 stars, they up in their 60s. They ain't as old as the damn president, 80-something years old. But showing any type of cognitive issues of where they're losing their memory or lost their memory, can't make quick decisions on things. Look how long, you look at everything that's going on. We had to strike, the issue with the drone that killed the American soldiers, that killed the U.S. Soldiers, Army soldiers. Look how long it took. And then go and listen to how he talks about it. So, let me know what you think down in the comments. Do you think there needs to be an age limit or term? I'm pretty sure everybody's going to agree with the terms, but what do you think should be the age limit cutoff for a president to run or to be as a sitting president? The same thing with Congress and the Senate. What is the age limit do you think it is? So I'll be interested, to see what you think about it, and I'll see you around.